The clock struck midnight when Marcus Chun heard the gentle tapping at his front door. Living in the quiet suburbs of Portland, Oregon, unexpected visitors at this hour were unheard of. Marcus set down the accounting books he'd been reviewing, another month of bills that outnumbered the income, and peered through the peephole. A young woman stood on his porch, illuminated by the yellow bug light. She couldn't have been more than 25, with dark curls pulled back in a messy ponytail, wearing a wool coat that had seen better days. What caught Marcus's attention immediately was her obvious pregnancy and the single suitcase at her feet. "Can I help you?" Marcus asked through the door, his hand instinctively moving toward his phone. "I'm here about the room," she said, her voice steady despite the late hour. "I saw your listing online. I know it's inappropriate to come so late, but I just arrived in Portland tonight, and I need a place to stay." Marcus hesitated. His 10-year-old daughter Lily was asleep upstairs, and every protective instinct told him to send the stranger away. But something about the way she held herself, dignified despite her circumstances, made him pause. "The listing said to call first," Marcus said, opening the door slightly. "I tried. Your voicemail was full." She pulled out her phone, showing him the rental listing he'd posted 3 weeks ago in desperation. "I can pay 3 months up front. Cash." That got his attention. 3 months would cover the mortgage, Lily's school expenses, and maybe even fix the heating system before winter really set in. "What's your name?" "Sophia. Sophia Martinez." Marcus studied her face, looking for signs of trouble. His late wife Jennifer had always teased him about being too cautious, too analytical. "You're an accountant, Marcus," she'd say with that brilliant smile of hers. "You weigh every risk before buying milk." But those instincts had kept them safe, kept Lily safe after Jennifer's sudden death from an aneurysm 2 years ago. "It's midnight, Miss Martinez. Why don't you come back tomorrow morning, and we can discuss this properly?" Sophia's composure cracked slightly. "Please. I understand how this looks, but I promise I'm not dangerous. I just need somewhere safe to rest. Just for tonight, and if you're uncomfortable in the morning, I'll leave." No questions asked. Against his better judgment, Marcus found himself stepping aside. "There's a couch in the living room. We'll talk in the morning." As Sophia entered, Marcus noticed she was limping slightly. "Are you hurt?" "Just tired. It's been a long day." She declined his offer of food but accepted a glass of water and a blanket. Marcus retreated upstairs, checking on Lily, peacefully asleep with her stuffed penguin, Mr. Waddles, before returning to his bedroom. He left his door open, just in case, and tried to ignore the voice in his head that said he'd just made a terrible mistake. Morning arrived with the smell of coffee and something else, pancakes. Marcus jolted awake, momentarily disoriented, before remembering his unexpected guest. He hurried downstairs to find Sophia in his kitchen, flipping pancakes with the practiced ease of someone who knew their way around a stove. "I hope you don't mind," Sophia said, gesturing to the stove. "I wanted to thank you for your kindness last night. I found the ingredients in your pantry. I'll replace everything, I promise." "Daddy!" Lily's voice preceded her appearance in the doorway. She stopped short, staring at the stranger in their kitchen. "Who are you?" "Lily, this is Miss Martinez," Marcus said quickly. "She's looking at the rental room." Sophia crouched down to Lily's eye level, a warm smile transforming her tired face. "You can call me Sophia, and you must be Lily. Your dad told me about you." "He did." Lily looked at Marcus suspiciously. Marcus definitely hadn't mentioned his daughter to this stranger. Sophia caught his expression and smiled apologetically. "Well, I saw the drawings on the refrigerator. The one with the family of penguins is particularly impressive." Lily's face lit up. "That's me, Daddy, and Mr. Waddles. We're going to Antarctica someday." "That sounds like an incredible adventure," Sophia said genuinely. Over breakfast, Marcus learned more about his mysterious visitor. Sophia was a chef trained in New York, worked in several high-end restaurants. She'd left her previous situation suddenly, it wasn't safe, was all she'd say about it, and chose Portland because she'd never been here before. Sometimes you need to go somewhere nobody knows you to figure out who you really are, Sophia explained, her hand unconsciously moving to her belly. The baby's father? Marcus asked, then immediately regretted the intrusion. I'm sorry, that's not my business. It's a fair question if I'm going to live here, Sophia said calmly. He's not in the picture. His choice, not mine. The baby is due in 3 months, and I need somewhere stable until then and probably for a while after. Marcus considered this. The rental income would be a lifeline, and Sophia seemed genuine. But there were risks. A pregnant woman who could face medical emergencies, the complications of having a newborn in the house, the mystery of what she was running from. Why Portland? Marcus pressed. You're from New York. That's a long way to run. Sophia met his eyes directly. Because I needed to be somewhere I could start fresh. Somewhere I wouldn't be found. Found by who? The father's family. They're influential. They wanted me to terminate the pregnancy. When I refused, things got complicated. The weight of that revelation settled over the breakfast table. Marcus looked at Lily, who was watching them both with the uncanny perception children possess. If I say yes, Marcus said slowly, I need complete honesty. No surprises, no dangerous people showing up at my door. My daughter's safety is non-negotiable. I understand completely, Sophia said, and I promise, I left that world behind. Nobody knows I'm here. Marcus named his terms. First, last, and security deposit. No guests without approval. Shared kitchen privileges, but she'd need to coordinate meal times. The room above the garage had its own entrance and bathroom, providing some separation from the main house. Sophia agreed to everything, then exceeded the deposit by another $1,000. Consider it a thank you for taking a chance on someone in a difficult situation. The first week was awkward, as any new living arrangement would be. Marcus found himself hyper-aware of sounds from the garage apartment, of Sophia's comings and goings. But gradually a routine emerged. Sophia proved to be an exceptional cook. She'd leave small portions of whatever she made, homemade pasta, artisanal breads, delicate pastries, with notes like, thought Lily might enjoy this, or made extra by accident. Marcus knew the extras weren't accidents, but he appreciated the gesture. Lily took to Sophia immediately, much to Marcus's concern and relief in equal measure. The girl had been withdrawn since Jennifer's death, her usual bright personality dimmed by grief. But Sophia seemed to reach her in ways Marcus couldn't. One afternoon, Marcus came home early from his accounting firm to find them in the backyard, Sophia teaching Lily how to identify edible plants. This is rosemary, Sophia was saying, crushing a leaf between her fingers. Smell that? It's earthy, almost pine-like. You can use it in cooking or to make tea. Can it make you fly? Lily asked seriously. Sophia laughed, the sound bright and genuine. No, sweetheart, though that would be amazing. But it can help you feel better when you're sad or worried. Sometimes the best magic is the kind that heals from the inside. Marcus cleared his throat, and both turned to look at him. Daddy! Lily ran over. Sophia's teaching me about kitchen witchcraft. Not real witches, just plant stuff. I hope that's all right, Sophia said, standing with effort. Her pregnancy was becoming more prominent. Lily asked what I was planting in the herb corner, and we got carried away. It's fine, Marcus said, though he felt that familiar pang of being the outsider in his daughter's world. Lily, homework time. After Lily reluctantly went inside, Sophia approached Marcus. I'm not trying to overstep. I know what it's like to lose a parent. My mother died when I was young. Sometimes kids need different people for different things. Jennifer died 2 years ago, Marcus found himself saying. Aneurysm. She was here one moment, gone the next. Lily was 8. Some days I'm not sure either of us has really processed it. I'm sorry, Sophia said simply. For what it's worth, you're doing an amazing job. Lily's kind, curious, and resilient. That doesn't happen by accident. The unexpected compliment settled something in Marcus's chest. A small reassurance he hadn't known he needed. 6 weeks into Sophia's tenancy, Marcus came home to find an expensive black sedan parked across the street. The driver, a large man in a suit, was watching their house. "Sophia," Marcus said urgently, finding her in the kitchen. "There's someone outside. Do you know anything about a black car?" The blood drained from Sophia's face. "Where's Lily?" "At her friend Emma's house." "Sophia, what's going on?" Before she could answer, the doorbell rang. Marcus opened it to find a woman in her 50s, impeccably dressed, with Sophia's dark eyes and sharp cheekbones. "I'm looking for Sophia Martinez," the woman said. "I believe she's staying here." "Who are you?" "Constance Martinez, Sophia's mother." Marcus's confusion must have shown because the woman smiled tightly. "I see my daughter told you I was dead." Classic Sophia, always with the dramatic flair. Sophia appeared behind Marcus, her face unreadable. "Mother, how did you find me? Did you really think you could use your credit card for the bus ticket and not leave a trail?" Constance pushed past Marcus into the house. "This has gone on long enough, Sophia. You've made your point. Now it's time to come home and handle this situation properly." "I'm not coming back," Sophia said firmly. "Don't be ridiculous. You can't raise a child like this, renting rooms from strangers." Constance's gaze swept over Marcus dismissively. "No offense, Mr. Chen. Marcus Chen. And this is my house, so I'll thank you to show some respect." Constance ignored him. "Sophia, Gabriel's family is willing to provide support. Full medical care, a trust fund for the child, and a generous settlement for you. All you have to do is sign the custody agreement." "Giving up my baby, you mean?" "Placing the child with people who can provide the best opportunities," Constance corrected. "You're 24 years old with no stable income, no permanent address, and clearly no plan for the future. What kind of life can you offer this child?" Marcus saw Sophia's hands clench, saw the tears threatening to spill. Before he could intervene, Sophia spoke with a steel in her voice he'd never heard before. "Get out. Sophia. I said get out. I left your world for a reason. I'm not giving up my child so Gabriel's family can save face. And I'm not coming back to be the perfect daughter who does what she's told. This baby is mine and we're going to be fine." "With what money?" "Gabriel's family is prepared to contest paternity. Tie you up in courts for years. You'll spend whatever you have fighting legal battles you can't win." "Then I'll figure it out," Sophia said. "But I'm not selling my child's future because you and Gabriel's family are embarrassed." Constance's expression hardened. "You're being childish and short-sighted. When reality hits and you're struggling to afford diapers, don't come crying to me." After Constance left, Sophia collapsed onto the couch, her composure finally cracking. Marcus sat beside her, unsure what to say. "My mother isn't dead," Sophia finally said. "But she might as well be. When I told her about the pregnancy, she sided with Gabriel's family immediately, said it would ruin my future and theirs. When I refused to terminate, she told me I was on my own. And Gabriel? Heir to a restaurant empire. We met when I was working at one of their flagship locations. I thought he loved me." Her laugh was bitter. "Turns out I was just an interesting distraction. When I got pregnant, he offered me money to take care of it. When I refused, his family's lawyers started calling. The influential family you mentioned, the Romano family, they own dozens of high-end restaurants across the country. Gabriel's grandfather built the empire from nothing, and they protect their reputation viciously. A pregnant chef with no family support? I'm a PR problem, not a person." Marcus processed this information. "The money you've been paying me, Where did it come from? I'd been saving for years to open my own restaurant someday. It's all I have left. Gabriel's family made sure I was fired from my last 3 positions. They're systematic about destroying anyone who threatens them. And if they find you here? They won't, Sophia said, but her voice lacked conviction. My mother wouldn't tell them. She might hate my choices, but she wouldn't actively hurt me. Marcus wasn't so sure, but he didn't voice his doubts. The confrontation with Constance changed something in their household. Sophia became quieter, more withdrawn. She still cooked and helped with Lily, but the lightness Marcus had come to appreciate was gone. 2 weeks later, Marcus was reviewing case files when his phone rang from an unknown number. Mr. Chan? This is Patricia Oakes. I'm an attorney, and I'd like to speak with you about your tenant, Sophia Martinez. Marcus's blood ran cold. How did you get this number? I'm not calling on behalf of the Romano family, Patricia said quickly. Quite the opposite. I represent victims of the Romano family's intimidation tactics. I understand Sophia is staying with you, and I'd like to help her. Marcus was skeptical, but he agreed to meet. The attorney turned out to be a sharp woman in her 40s who arrived with a briefcase full of case files. The Romano family has a pattern, Patricia explained in Marcus's kitchen, while Sophia listened, pale but focused. They target women their sons are involved with, particularly those who might embarrass the family. Sophia, you're the 5th woman in 3 years that Gabriel has gotten pregnant and tried to pay off. Sophia's shock was evident. 5th. The others signed NDAs and took settlements. But one woman, Maria Gonzalez, refused. She fought for custody, and the Romano family destroyed her systematically. Fired from her job, evicted from her apartment, had her family harassed. Eventually, she gave up her daughter and disappeared. That's horrible, Marcus said. It's also illegal, Patricia countered. But the Romano family has enough money and influence to make problems disappear. Until now. Maria contacted me 6 months ago. She wants to fight back, expose what they did. But she needs other women to come forward, corroborate the pattern of behavior. What are you asking? Sophia said carefully. I'm asking you to let me represent you. Don't sign their agreement. Instead, file a paternity suit, demand support, and go public with how they're treating you. With multiple women, we can show a pattern of abuse. It won't be easy. They'll fight dirty, but we can win. Sophia looked at Marcus, and he saw the fear in her eyes. If I do this, they'll come after me harder. They might come here. Lily, Marcus said immediately. I won't put you and Lily at risk, Sophia said firmly. I'll find somewhere else. No, Marcus interrupted, surprising himself. You're not leaving. We'll figure this out together. Marcus, you don't understand what you're offering. These people have unlimited resources. And they're bullies, Marcus said. I grew up being bullied for being the only Asian kid in a small town. I learned that bullies rely on people being too scared to stand up. But when you stand together, when you refuse to be intimidated, they lose their power. Patricia smiled. Mr. Chun is right. The Romano family is powerful, but they're not invincible. And Sophia, you have something the other women didn't. You have evidence. Evidence. Those text messages Gabriel sent you, demanding you terminate the pregnancy. The emails from his family's lawyers. Your employment records showing a pattern of being fired from Romano-affiliated restaurants. It's all admissible, and it paints a damning picture. Over the next few hours, they developed a strategy. Patricia would file the paternity suit and simultaneously leak the story to a reporter she trusted who specialized in exposing corporate misconduct. The key was timing. Hit them hard and publicly before they could respond. This will get ugly, Patricia warned. They'll investigate you, Marcus. They'll look for anything they can use against either of you. My life is boring, Marcus said. Accountant, widower, devoted father. Let them look. But he couldn't shake the worry about Lily. Would this expose her to danger? The story broke on a Friday morning. Romano restaurant empire accused of systematic abuse of women, read the headline in the Portland Tribune, followed by major pickups in the New York Times and Washington Post by afternoon. Sophia's phone exploded with messages, most vicious, some supportive. But the real response came that evening when Gabriel Romano himself showed up at Marcus's door. He was everything Sophia had described: handsome, polished, and radiating the confidence of someone who'd never faced real consequences. Marcus blocked the doorway. "I'm here to see Sophia," Gabriel said, as if he were doing them a favor. "She doesn't want to see you. I think she can speak for herself." Gabriel tried to push past, but Marcus held firm. "She already did. In the lawsuit, did you read that part? Where she detailed every text message where you pressured her to abort our child. Where she explained how your family had her blacklisted from the industry." "That's not how it happened," Gabriel said, his charm evaporating. "She's twisting everything." "Am I?" Sophia appeared behind Marcus, her hand on her stomach. "Which part did I twist, Gabriel? The part where you said a baby would complicate things? Or when your mother offered me $100,000 to disappear? We were trying to help you. You had no business keeping that baby. You're broke, homeless." "I have a home," Sophia interrupted. "I have people who care about me. What do you have besides your family's money and reputation?" Gabriel's face twisted. "You'll regret this. My family will bury you. We'll prove you're an unfit mother. Take the baby, and you'll end up with nothing." "Get off my property," Marcus said coldly. "And if you come back, I'm calling the police." After Gabriel left, Marcus found Sophia shaking in the kitchen. "He's right. They'll destroy me. What if I lose her?" Her hand pressed against her belly. "What if they prove I'm unfit?" "They won't," Marcus said with more confidence than he felt. "Because you're not alone." The next few weeks were brutal. The Romano family's lawyers filed countersuits, alleging that Sophia had entrapped Gabriel, that she was a gold digger seeking to exploit the family's wealth. Private investigators started following Marcus, photographing him and Lily, looking for anything scandalous. The stress took its toll on Sophia. She started having contractions at 36 weeks, preterm labor that landed her in the hospital. Marcus sat beside her bed, holding her hand while doctors worked to stop the contractions. "I'm sorry," Sophia whispered. "I brought this chaos into your life." "Stop," Marcus said gently. "You brought more than chaos. You brought laughter back into this house. You helped Lily heal. You reminded me that family isn't just about blood. It's about choosing to show up for each other." The contractions stopped, but the doctors insisted on bed rest for the remaining 3 weeks. Marcus converted the guest room downstairs so Sophia wouldn't have to navigate the garage apartment stairs. Lily appointed herself as Sophia's primary caretaker, bringing water, reading stories, and chattering about her day. Marcus watched his daughter bloom in the role of helper, saw her grief transform into purpose. 3 weeks later, on a clear October morning, Sophia's water broke. Marcus drove her to the hospital while his neighbor stayed with Lily, promising updates. The labor was long, 18 hours of Sophia cycling through pain and fear and determination. Marcus stayed with her throughout, holding her hand, reminding her to breathe, being the partner she didn't have. "Why are you doing this?" Sophia asked during a lull between contractions. "You barely know me." "I know you're brave," Marcus said. "I know you're kind. I know you chose the hard path because it was the right one. That's enough." At 6:23 p.m., Isabella Rose Martinez entered the world with a cry that seemed to announce she was already a force to be reckoned with. She had Sophia's dark curls and a stubborn expression that made the nurses laugh. "She's perfect," Sophia whispered, tears streaming down her face as she held her daughter. "Thank you for being here. Thank you for everything." Marcus stepped out to give them privacy and found himself face to face with Gabriel Romano in the hospital corridor. The younger man looked haggard, uncertain. Is she? Mother and baby are healthy, Marcus said stiffly. I want to see them. That's not your decision anymore. The paternity test will happen when Sophia is ready. Until then, you stay away. Gabriel's facade cracked. I didn't know it would go this far. My family, they pushed and I just went along. I thought it was the right thing, protecting our reputation, avoiding complications. But I've been seeing the news, reading the stories from other women. Did my family really do all that? Yes, Marcus said simply. I want to make this right, Gabriel said, and for the first time he sounded genuine. Not for my family, not for our reputation. For Isabella. She deserves better than this mess. Then talk to your lawyer. Drop the custody fight. Support your daughter financially and emotionally, or step aside completely. But stop letting your family terrorize Sophia. Gabriel nodded slowly. I'll try. Trying isn't good enough when there's a child involved, Marcus said. Either you're all in as a father or you're out. There's no middle ground. Over the next few days, something unexpected happened. Gabriel did drop the custody fight. He issued a public statement acknowledging Isabella as his daughter, committing to child support, and apologizing to Sophia for how his family had treated her. The Romano family, facing mounting pressure from the media and other women coming forward, agreed to a settlement that included financial support for Isabella, therapy costs for Sophia, and a public acknowledgement of their abusive tactics. Patricia Oakes called it a landmark case. Marcus called it the bare minimum of human decency. 6 months after Isabella's birth, Marcus stood in his kitchen making pancakes. A Saturday morning tradition now. Lily was teaching Isabella patty cake in her high chair while Sophia reviewed paperwork for her new business venture. With the settlement money and a small business loan, Sophia was opening a restaurant. Not something grand or flashy, but a community kitchen that would offer cooking classes, affordable meals, and job training for women re-entering the workforce. The Martinez Kitchen, Sophia had named it, a place for second chances. Gabriel visited once a month, awkward but trying. He brought gifts, asked questions about Isabella's development, and gradually built a relationship with his daughter. It would never be traditional, but it was something. Daddy, Lily said one morning, is Sophia going to live here forever? Marcus glanced at Sophia, who was watching him with an expression he couldn't quite read. I don't know, sweetheart. Why do you ask? Because Emma says families live together and we're a family now, right? We're a family, Marcus confirmed. But family doesn't always mean living in the same house. But I want us to, Lily insisted. Don't you want Sophia and Isabella to stay? The question hung in the air. Marcus realized that sometime in the past 9 months, Sophia had stopped being his tenant and had become something else entirely. She was the first person he wanted to tell when something good happened, the one whose opinion mattered when making decisions about Lily, the woman who made his house feel like a home again. I do want them to stay, Marcus admitted. But that's up to Sophia. Sophia set down her papers, her eyes bright. Marcus, can we talk? They stepped into the backyard, leaving the girls with their breakfast. The October air was crisp, carrying the scent of fallen leaves and possibility. I've been offered a space for the restaurant, Sophia said. It's perfect, good location, reasonable rent, everything I need. But it's across town, which means you'd need to move closer, Marcus finished. Or, Sophia said slowly, I could stay here, if that's something you'd want. I know this started as a business arrangement, but it's become so much more. You and Lily, you've given me more than a place to live. You've given me a family. Marcus took her hands. I don't want you to stay out of convenience or gratitude. That's not why I'd be staying, Sophia said. I'd be staying because somewhere between midnight pancakes and hospital vigils, I fell in love with you, both of you, this weird, wonderful family we've built. It's everything I never knew I needed. I love you too, Marcus said, the words feeling both terrifying and right. I didn't think I'd ever feel this way again after Jennifer died. But you didn't replace her. You helped me remember that love doesn't run out. There's always room for more. Their kiss was interrupted by Lily's delighted squeal from the kitchen window. I knew it. Emma owes me her dessert. Were you betting on us? Marcus called out, trying to sound stern but unable to stop smiling. Obviously, Lily said. You're both pretty obvious about it. A year later, the Martinez kitchen opened to a packed house. The space was warm and inviting, with an open kitchen where Sophia could teach classes while preparing meals. One wall was dedicated to the women who'd come forward against the Romano family. Their photos and stories, a reminder that speaking truth to power mattered. Gabriel attended the opening with his new girlfriend, a kindergarten teacher who seemed genuinely nice and unimpressed by his family's wealth. He'd taken Marcus's advice seriously, committing to therapy and gradually building a real relationship with Isabella. He'd never be father of the year, but he was trying, and that counted for something. Marcus stood in the corner, holding Isabella while Lily helped Sophia demonstrate how to properly knead bread dough. He thought about that midnight a year and a half ago when Sophia had knocked on his door. Desperate, alone, and 7 months pregnant. Beautiful, isn't it? Patricia Oakes appeared beside him. Seeing someone not just survive but thrive. She's remarkable, Marcus agreed. So are you, Patricia said. Not many people would have taken the risk you did. You gave her a safe place to land, and look what she built from there. But Marcus knew it wasn't that simple. They'd built this together, Sophia, Lily, Isabella, even Gabriel in his own flawed way. They'd taken broken pieces and created something new, something stronger than any of them could have managed alone. That night, after the restaurant closed and they'd returned home, Marcus found Sophia standing in the backyard, looking up at the stars. Thinking about how far you've come? He asked, wrapping his arms around her from behind. Thinking about how grateful I am, Sophia said, leaning back against him. For that midnight when I showed up at your door. For every risk you took. For showing me that family isn't about perfection. It's about showing up, even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard, Marcus corrected. Inside, they could hear Lily singing Isabella to sleep, her young voice carrying through the open window. It wasn't the life Marcus had planned. When Jennifer died, he'd thought his story was over. Just him and Lily, going through the motions, surviving but not really living. Sophia had changed that. She'd brought chaos and complications, yes, but also laughter and love, and the reminder that second chances existed for those brave enough to take them. Marry me, Marcus said suddenly. Sophia turned in his arms, eyes wide. What? Marry me, he repeated. Not because it's practical or convenient. Not because we're already living together or co-parenting. Marry me because I want to wake up next to you for the rest of my life. Because I want to build something permanent with you. Because when I imagine the future, you're in every part of it. Sophia's eyes filled with tears. We've only known each other for 18 months. I knew I loved Jennifer after 3 dates, Marcus said. Sometimes you just know. And I know that you're it for me. You and Isabella joining Lily and me, we're already a family. I just want to make it official. Yes, Sophia whispered. Yes, I'll marry you. Their kiss was interrupted by Lily's voice from the upstairs window. Finally, can I be the flower girl? The house on Oak Street had undergone several renovations. The garage apartment was now a proper art studio where Lily, now 15, worked on her paintings. The kitchen had been expanded, a necessity when you lived with a professional chef who loved feeding people. The backyard had been transformed into a garden where Sophia grew the herbs and vegetables for her restaurant, now expanded to 3 locations across Portland. Isabella, now 6, spent hours in that garden, helping her mother plant and water, chattering about how she'd have her own restaurant someday. Marcus had cut back his hours at the accounting firm to help manage the business side of the Martinez kitchen. He'd never imagined himself as a restaurateur, But life had a funny way of taking you places you never planned to go. Gabriel was remarried now, to the kindergarten teacher, and they had a daughter of their own, Isabella's half-sister, who she adored. It wasn't a traditional co-parenting arrangement, but they'd made it work. Gabriel visited regularly, took Isabella for weekends, and had grown into a decent father. Not perfect, but present. The Romano family had faced consequences. The investigation Patricia triggered had revealed years of abusive practices. Several executives had been forced to resign, the company restructured, and new policies implemented. It didn't erase the damage they'd caused, but it was something. On this particular Saturday, the house was chaos, the good kind. Lily's art show opening, Isabella's dance recital, and Sophia's mother, Constance, visiting for the first time since she'd tracked Sophia down years ago. The reconciliation between mother and daughter had been slow and painful. Constance had attended therapy, done the work of understanding why she'd chosen protection over support. She'd never be Mother of the Year, but she was trying. That's all any of them could do, try. Family photo, Lily announced, setting up her phone on a timer. Everyone squeeze in. They crammed together. Marcus and Sophia in the center, Isabella on Marcus's shoulders, Lily squeezing in beside Sophia, even Constance joining reluctantly at the edge. Say cheese. Cheese. The photo captured them mid-laugh, slightly blurry, perfectly imperfect. Later, Sophia would frame it and hang it in the restaurant beside the wall of women who'd found their strength. As Marcus looked at his family, this beautiful, complicated, unconventional family, he thought about that midnight knock on his door. He'd been so afraid, so certain that opening that door meant inviting trouble. He'd been right. Sophia had brought complications and challenges and moments of genuine fear. But she'd also brought love and laughter and the reminder that sometimes the best things in life come from the chances you take on people. "What are you thinking about?" Sophia asked later, when the chaos had settled and they were alone in their bedroom. "That I'm glad you knocked on my door," Marcus said simply. Sophia smiled, the same smile that had first made him think she might be worth the risk. "Me too. Though next time I run away from a billionaire family, maybe I'll call ahead." "Please do," Marcus laughed. "My heart can't take another midnight surprise." But as they drifted off to sleep, Marcus knew he'd open that door again in a heartbeat. Because some strangers aren't really strangers at all. They're family waiting to be found.